Shalom, peace be unto you, and welcome to Secrets Revealed, the Holy Bible. Today we're looking at Numbers chapter 19. There are 22 verses. The title of this video is The Red Heifer and the Water of Sprinkling, Separation and Purification. So what I'm doing today is looking at the differences between the Septuagint and the Masoretic texts, focusing on the more significant differences. Minor differences will be included in the description box, so you can look at that at your own time. Verse 2, we have an addition. It says, no blemish. No blemish in the Masoretic versus no spot. So it does say without spot and no blemish. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt for the first time in a long time, because I realized that the Septuagint is saying the same thing twice. A red heifer without spot, which has no spot on her. That's a little redundant in my opinion. So this could be possibly a mistranslation in the Septuagint. It could be a blemish. Okay, so I'm going to leave that open to different interpretations. That is possible. Okay, moving on. Verse 5. We're ignoring this one. Okay. Verse 6. Scarlet wool. The word wool was omitted in the Masoretic. It says scarlet only. Verse 7 has a continuous difference of body versus flesh. So the Septuagint is including hair, nails, etc. All your body, or his body, speaking of the priest, will be washed, shall be washed. He will wash himself and his garments. But the Masoretic says only his flesh, so that could possibly be exempting anything that's not flesh, like nails and hair. Verse 9, a continuous difference. It is the water of sprinkling, a purification, versus a water of separation. It is a purification, and then we have an addition here, for sin. For sin. Verse 10, significant difference, as strangers joined to them, versus stranger that sojourns among them. So why is this important? Because anyone who assimilates or adopts your culture is somebody that's joined to you. That's the way I interpret that. If someone is passing through or just visiting temporarily, that is closer to a sojourner. Verse 12, continuous difference. He shall be purified versus he shall purify himself. So it's not him that does it by himself, but it is a ritual done with the help of the priesthood. Okay, actually, you know what? It says, if he be not purged, versus if he purify not himself. So that's the context from verse 12. So again, it's not him that does it by himself, but it is a ritual done with the help of the priesthood. So it does sound like the priests are helping him to be clean in Septuagint. However, the Masoretic seems to imply he's doing it by himself. So I think I need to make that clearer in my notes, so I will do that right now. Okay, moving on. Verse 14 says house versus a tent. House versus tent. Verse 16, it's a man versus one. And then we see by violence versus with a sword. So the Septuagint is leaving it open to different means. It could be any means necessary that causes violence or death, versus the Masoretic saying, okay, it's with a sword. It has to be a sword. So there's a little bit of a bit of a loophole there. It's open to being taken advantage of and saying, okay, you know what, he didn't use a sword, so this is okay. He used a gun or he used something that's not a sword. We see in addition, in the open fields was added. In the open field, I should say. Or no, it says fields, okay. Sepulcher versus grave. A sepulcher is something you can enter, such as a cave or a mausoleum, not simply a headstone, and I understand people understand it that way. However, in the Old English, when you say grave, it's not just a tomb like the tombstone. It actually is like something you can enter. So I have to clarify this because, again, our vernacular has changed a lot of definitions. So when they do say grave here, it could mean a tomb. It could mean something you can enter. So I'm only saying, clarifying because of our modern vernacular. So I'll put here modern vernacular causes confusion. Can cause confusion. And then verse 17, we're ignoring that. A continuous difference in verse 17. There's an addition of sin, again, continuing. Verse 18, we see the word souls versus persons. So this could include animals in the Septuagint. Yeah, you could sprinkle that on your animals if they live in your house. Potentially. Verse 20, we see a difference here. Defiled the holy things versus defiled the sanctuary. So the holy things are objects. It could include the sanctuary, possibly, whereas the Masoretic is just the place, not the things. Verse 21 says, to you, meaning to Moses and Aaron and possibly Eleazar as well. Maybe even possibly addressing all of Israel. It's also possible. Versus unto them in the Maz saying all Israel. Okay, so that's all I have for you today. It's a pretty short chapter, but I wouldn't say there's massive cataclysmic differences. There are some significant differences in this, but thank you very much for your time. May Yah bless you and make your way prosperous. Tune in next time. We'll look at Numbers chapter 20. I was trying to do this every day, but, you know, sometimes life gets busy and sometimes you cannot, as much as you want to do, fulfill your daily duty. The flesh is weak. And I apologize yesterday. I did not upload as per usual. I've been on a pretty good streak, but yesterday was something I just could not control. It was some things going on in life, and so I apologize for that. So thank you again. Please like, please subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I would appreciate if you do that so we can spread this most important message, the truth of the truth. It's the Word of God, but it's the true Word of God, the one that Yeshua had. So thank you very much again, and shalom and peace be to you from our Father and Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach. Thank you.